Doug Martin.
Doug Martin, the man who was injured. Had a disgusting rookie year, but I don't know much about him. I don't think he's that good.
Well, I don't know. I think he'll do solid this year.
But he had a huge injury. He's come back from an injury, and he's on a team with the Bucks, and they had 2 wins last year.
I like Doug Martin. I mean, I'm glad we don't have him, but
So you don't really
like we have better players. I like him for other people's crappy teams.
And Chris Ivory with the next pick.
Yeah, he's whatever. It's Chris Ivory.
I would never draft anyone on the Jets ever.
No. You got to draft from good teams. High-powered offenses.
High-powered offenses.
That's what we have right now. Everybody's from a high-powered offense. Even I'd say the Panthers have decent offense. So
well, they make the playoffs, so they're a pretty good offense.
yeah, if you make the playoffs,
like
you're good. So
like you're never gonna see a roster with a good championship team with players on bad teams. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah,
the only good players are really on good teams.
That's why we win fantasy, and we're not like these other idiots. Just draft like Chris Ivory.
Yeah,
6th, 7th round.
Bro, let me have Chris Ivory. He's a really good running back as a flex. No,
Thank you.
And one other tip we haven't shared yet. So, if you have someone like Chris Ivory, the Jets are not a good offense, which means they're going to be in a lot of games where they're losing. And what can you not do when you're losing? Run the ball. He's not going to get a lot of touches.
That's actually a really, really good point that you got to consider. Sometimes people overlook that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Vic went.
Victor Cruz coming back from that injury. He was the clear number 1 before Odell Beckham tore up the league.
He actually put some very consistent stats.
Yeah,
very good consistent stats.
Before he got injured, I believe he had 3 consecutive years, at least 70 or 80 catches and 1,000 yards. He was pretty disgusting.
I kind of like him in that situation too. Now he's got Beckham, so he's gonna be like kind of like Bryant, Manny Sanders kind of number 2. And
also, don't sleep on Larry Donnell. That offense is pretty good.
I love Larry Donnell.
It's Mike. What's the coordinator's name? Mike. No, that's not the coordinator.
I don't even know.
It's the Green Bay Packers coordinator.
Oh, McCarthy?
No, the Giants have the coordinator, the old Packers coordinator, right?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Why am I thinking that? Anyways, I'm thinking that they have a good offense, and Vic is a nice pick.
Yep, Vic, nice pick. Charles Johnson?
Charles Johnson.
I like him, but I don't know.
I mean, Teddy Bridge at QB. I know they have AP, but he blew up last year. He was literally a no-name. Cordarrelle Patterson was the guy you wanted last year.
Oh my God, I love Patterson last year.
He was a huge 4th or 5th round bust last year.
I loved him.
People were going crazy over the potential he had. He had a few electrifying plays his rookie year, but I mean, what a bust Cordarrelle Patterson was.
Yeah, there's no bigger bust than Cordell.
I believe Shane Vereen went before Charles Johnson. So a pass-catching running back. Giants, they have Jennings, so he's probably a 3rd down back.
And Williams too looked pretty good last year.
So I like Vereen, but not really because he's not a true number 1 or number 2. He's mainly a 3rd down back, so almost the Danny Woodhead situation. But he's not a bad pick.
Yeah, it's not bad. PPR should do well. I mean, Vincent Jackson's still on the board. Drew Brees still.
Damn, Drew Brees is still on the board.
Like, I don't know why you guys aren't taking Drew Brees. Come on.
They must not like him because no Jimmy Graham. So.
Yeah, that's true. But he's got Jimmy Hill. Come on. Jimmy Hill. We love Jimmy Hill.
Yep, Jimmy Hill. Underrated. We just had Giovanni Bernard-Goat, Tevin Coleman, and Julius Thomas.
Tevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman. I would have taken him much later. That's a very high pick for Tevin Coleman. He's not even a guaranteed starter in Atlanta, and they do not run the ball.
Wow, and look at this bozo drafting 2 tight ends.
Who has 2 tight ends?
This guy took Julius Thomas.
So he's going to start one at a flex?
He's got Travis Kelce and Julius Thomas as a flex. Thanks, bro. Thank you for
that's a mistake you don't want to make. I mean, this guy probably thinks Julius Thomas, he was injured last year. He did score a ton of TDs, but that was a Peyton Manning at QB, man. And he had Julius Thomas.
His stats were so fluffed with touchdowns.
He just scored TDs, not a lot of catches.
Yeah.
So he was on a high-powered offense. Going to Jacksonville, his numbers are probably going to be cut in half, man.
TDs are pretty fluky. You don't want to be drafting
Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah.
And that's all you got to say, man. And just like we said, someone on a bad team, Jacksonville, just no thank you.
I mean, he started out kind of well. He had Bell, Forsett, and Cooks. Like, that's pretty solid, but then just everything went downhill from there.
These are still high picks. You can't mess these up.
Oh, there we go. Vincent Jackson.
I really like Vincent Jackson. That's a really solid pick. I
Mhm.
believe he had at least 120 targets last
Yeah,
year.
he gets a ton of targets.
Huge red zone threat. Playing opposite of Mike Evans. So that's a really solid pick. He's one of the older guys, but he's one of the only guys I would take as an older number 2 receiver that I would trust for catches.
Yeah, he's good at this point in the draft.
Yep. Now we're coming into the 7th round, so we have 6. So we have 72 players off the board. Drew Brees still on the board. We have Peyton Manning and also Russell Wilson on the board. So we have tons of QBs available. No one's taking QBs. Now we're basically looking at either number 2 running backs on teams. Some starters are left, but yeah, you're getting in slim pickings with your team. These aren't really starters you're going to be drafting. More players you want with a high ceiling. A lot of not boom or bust. Just really high ceiling players. You don't want players that are just going to be mediocre. You want to draft players who can ball.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like Brees, Manning, and Wilson are still there. Those are all really high point players.
Yeah, actually in RT Sports, QBs there's 25 top positions. QBs finished 18 out of 25, so QBs all finished very high.
Yeah, I would only consider taking like Brees or Peyton here because they shouldn't be here right now.
Right. I mean,
it's really good value for them.
Exactly. So that's why it's BPA. Trey Mason just went, and I like.
Man, that makes me so mad they drafted Gurley because Trey Mason's awesome.
Yeah, that must piss off Mason. He must have found that out on Twitter and be like, "Oh man, I hate St. Louis, bro. They ain't even trying to give me the rock."
I hate St. Louis, dog.
But St. Louis is a solid team. I think they're gonna make the playoffs for the first time in 10 years.
Oh,
they
definitely.
got a nice defense. The defense is loaded, friend.
My boy Aaron Donald is a beast.
Yeah, do you know Aaron Donald?
I know him personally, and he's a beast.
Did you room with him?
Yes, I hung out with him all the time in my younger years.
What was your favorite fast food joint with Aaron Donald? What do you like?
Hardee's. Because we hard as fuck. Anyways, who just went?
I think they're still making their pick. I mean,
oh God.
Who do you like for our pick now?
Well, let's kind of build some bench here.
Yeah, you want to build that.
Build that bench.
Build that bench. Mike Wallace, that man. Oh boy, he's been on like 7 teams since Pittsburgh. He's a head case.
He did all right with the Dolphins, though.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a nice season.
Think he's gonna do better than now he's with Bridgewater?
I don't know. I wouldn't take him. I don't trust him.
Nah. Wow, Devonta Freeman.
We liked him last year.
We did. Came out of Florida State, 4th round pick, but he's not even a starter. And like we said, they don't run the ball, so we don't really like him.
Yeah, his name's Devonta. That's just weird.
Yeah, it should have been Devontae.
Yeah, so. Bro, your name's screwed up.
Yep. We don't like that.
All right, scrolling through. Ryan Matthews, Alfred Blue.
Is that Duke Johnson, the Cleveland running back?
Ooh, I love Duke Johnson.
Why do you like him?
Because I used to take him in college fantasy. He was nasty.
Is he the starter? No way.
No. It's Crowell, Johnson, and West right now. I heard, yeah.
So our point is Cleveland. Who's their number 1 receiver and who's their quarterback? Do you want a running back who's not going to get the ball?
No. Yeah, so, he's not going to get the ball.
Do not take players on bad teams. That's it.
Cleveland is on the rise, though. Their O-line is dirty.
I don't care. Who's the number 1 receiver?
Dwayne Bowe.
Did he score a TD last year?
No, because he's Dwayne Bowe. He sucks.
No. Just no. Don't draft anyone on Cleveland.
Crowell's nasty. I'm not saying to draft him. They're not good fantasy, but Crowell is nasty.
Okay. Okay. I agree with Crowell being nasty. I think he was the top high school player like 5 years ago.
He had a great seat. Yeah, like they need to let him play.
And we just had Drew Brees go.
No way.
Drew Brees and Rashad Jennings.
Finally, Drew Brees went.
So solid pick and Drew Brees, great value.
Rashad Jennings, when he was healthy, was a top 10 fantasy back. That's a fact. Look it up.
Very good back. Getting older. Actually went to Liberty. 7th round pick. But crowded backfield in New York. I mean, Vereen and Andre Williams. So.
Oh, there goes my boy Crowell.
That's funny. I think Crowell should have been taken over Johnson.
Wow. But Peyton Manning and Russell Wilson are still on the board.
I think we got to take... I don't know.
It's going to be very hard to pass up one of those.
I'd rather take Wilson than Manning because Manning's like 40.
Wilson was the number 3 quarterback last year in fantasy.
You know why? Because he runs the ball.
Because he runs the ball.
And that's huge. So underrated.
Oh, my God. I love running quarterbacks.
I think maybe we're addicted to running quarterbacks.
I think that's what it is. I think it all started with Michael Vick.
It's just, I mean, you can't describe it when they have those huge rushing games. They just take over games, man.
It gives you so much more fantasy points.
Like, think about it this way. So, if a QB they need, I believe, 20 yards for a point or 25?
25 for 1 point.
So, if they have a decent running game that's 40 yards, boom, that's 4 points. It's equivalent to 100 passing yards.
Yeah.
So, take a look at that.
Rushing TDs are worth more, too.
Yeah, rushing TDs are worth 6.
There goes Peyton.
State Farm.
No, I kind of hope they take Russell here because I don't want to have to draft him now.
I mean, that's kind of early for QB. He's just got that fat-ass contract.
Contract's so fat.
Yeah, but
I kind of hate Russell Wilson,
he seems
too.
like too perfect.
Yeah, he's like
he's
JJ
so well
Watt.
spoken.
Tries to be perfect. And he's like hooking up with like strippers on Twitter all the time, so
He clearly don't give a fuck.
yeah. I don't like his attitude. Not on this fantasy team. We're not letting that on here. Okay, so who are you looking at then if we're not taking Russell?
Let's see. I don't like QBs, so get out of QBs. I don't like that mindset.
I love one quarterback
We
in
already
particular.
have 4 receivers. We got to take a running back here.
Oh my god. You know who's on the board?
No.
He plays for New England.
Jonas Gray?
His first name starts with an L.
LeGarette Blount!
Oh,
we rolling
baby.
them fatties. He's suspended, but I don't care.
I don't care. He's a beast.
You know what? Fun fact of the day.
What?
18 TDs and 16 career games with New England.
No.
Also, who'd he torch last year in the playoffs?
The Colts.
The Colts, over 150 yards, 3 TDs, book it.
Oh
Beast.
my god.
Absolute steal. Let's take a look at his stats.
I'd take him as a starter on this team.
He's only out for a game, right?
Yeah, he's hurt right now. He's got a sprained MCL, but rumor has it he should be back by his suspensions. He should be fine.
That good and be real good. So.
Yeah. There we go. Wow, nice. We got
LeGarette Blount. New England offense is top 10. He's on a top 10 offensive team, and in the red zone they like to punch it in. So that's a really good value pick.
I'm hoping he gets 20 carries a game.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, yeah, that's really wishful
especially
thinking.
in New England. He likes to be right back. Jonas Gray, 200 yards, 4 TDs, doesn't get a carry.
Belichick is such a weirdo because he never gives the running backs the ball.
He likes to play with 4 running backs. He doesn't really love any of his running backs.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I guess kind of risky, but I love LeGarette Blount.
No, not risky.
I think he'll get it at least 12 to 15 times a game. Possibly could get it 20 times because they did give him the rock 30 times that Colts game.
Did they?
Yeah, they ran it 30 times.
Oh, that's because they were up by 74.
Yeah,
so they cheated, right?
Yeah, they deflated balls. Stupid cheating Patriots. But like we said, they're on a good team. So when they're winning games, they're gonna try to milk that clock.
Yes, milking that clock.
Oh my god, love the LeGarette Blount pick. Now our team's got nice rounded depth.
Also on the side, I believe there was a game last year when Le'Veon Bell, the Steelers were up by 14 on Monday Night Football or some primetime game, and Le'Veon Bell got carries when they were still up 30, and I think LeGarette walked off the field early and then got cut.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
So, I do love LeGarette. His attitude, he's the man.
Yeah, he has the best attitude. He punched somebody in the face, too.
That was with Oregon, so
yeah.
he really doesn't care. He just gets – and he was drafted very late because of that, but he's a very solid back.
Yeah, he is. He's kind of a beast. I was watching some of his highlights, and he can't tackle the man. Oh, wow, wow, that guy just missed his pick.
Some Rowdy Waddy? Rowdy
Waddy. Rowdy Waddy. I can't say it.
No, I can't.
Say that 3 times fast, viewers.
Good luck.
Roddy White.
He absolutely used to be a stud about 4 years ago before Julio. He was a top 5, top 6 receiver for a good 3-4 years. But his days of being a top receiver are over. I mean, limited potential. I think he's in his 30s now. He's all right, but I mean, I don't like aging players.
There's still a stud here. There's a stud on the board right now. Let's see if you can figure it out.
A stud on the board?
Yep. And he doesn't play running back or wide receiver.
So it's not Larry Fitz.
No.
The former stud.
It's not Larry Fitz.
There's still a stud?
He plays for a team that's blue.
A blue team?
And they got a big picture of a kitty on their helmet.
A kitty.
A kitty. Oh, wait. It could be Joik Bell.
It's Joik Bell.
Wait, it's
He's
not
still on the board.
It's not running back or wide receiver, though.
Oh, so it's a QB?
Yeah, QB. Ace. The kid Ace. Young Ace
Boogie.
Oh, my God. Tell them about Cam Newton and why we love him.
Whew. So Cam Newton, he has 33 rushing TDs in 4 years, NFL record. He basically is base god. He hasn't had a season worse than 3,000 yards and 500 rushing yards. His first 3 years in the season, he was no less than a top 3 fantasy QB. Last year was a slightly off year, but not even really. Cam Newton was still dirty.
And he's the man.
That number 1 pick. Fun fact of the day: where did he play his first 2 years in college?
Is it Auburn?
It is not Auburn.
No way.
Where
is it Boston College?
It is not BC. Further down south.
Is it Florida?
It is Florida.
Oh.
He backed up Tim Tebow for 2 years. Didn't even see time.
Oh my God. He's 6'5", 250.
You know who? On the NFL Top 100, there was a term used to specifically describe Cam Newton. And what player described
I think it was
him?
Ike Taylor. Calls him a mutant.
A mutant.
He's a freak. He should be part of the X-Men. He's like 5% body fat. Cam Newton, I love you. You're the man. I can't wait. We're going to ride and die with you this year.
We always ride and die with Cam.
Every year we take you. We ride and die with you.
We want him. That's
Cam
what we
Newton,
want.
you're going to do it this year. You're going to win us $200K this year. I love you. Let's go. Oh, baby.
We took Cam.
And we got that Panthers offense. Basically, read option. Either way, we're getting points.
So, a lot of y'all might think we took Cam Newton early, but like we said, you got to take players early when you have the 10th pick. We would have to wait 20 picks to get a QB or someone at position. He's our starting QB. We're going to ride with Cam. He has a very easy schedule during the fantasy playoffs.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that. The schedule at the back end of the season is so easy for him.
Oh, underrated stat. If you're drafting 2 QBs or you're drafting players, take a look at who they're playing in the playoffs. You want to see who they're going against that week. You want to have easy weeks. I mean, you just want to coast through the season and get to the playoffs, and that's when you got to ride.
Yeah,
we ride in the playoffs.
We got the schedule in front of us here, and just looking at it, he's playing a bunch of slouchy teams.
Teams with no defense. They need a new defensive playbook, man.
All right, you know what? Let's take a look. Let's see. Because I don't really care about all these other players going right now. So, Cam, week 13, he's playing New Orleans, the Falcons in week 14. The Giants, and then Atlanta again, and then Tampa Bay.
So, baby girl, that's 3 out of 5 domes. So, he's going to be chilling in that fucking nice AC. Just chilling.
That AC, baby girl.
And he's going to be running the ball a lot. The Giants had a really bad defense last year. And who was that other team?
Oh, Tampa Bay last week, and then Atlanta twice, and then New Orleans.
So, basically, he's chilling in the NFC South, all domes, divisional games. They're going to be big. They're going to be in the playoffs. We're riding with Cam.
I'm looking at the schedule right now. The only 2 tough games he has is Seattle and Green Bay. And then kind of Houston, maybe Dallas, but I would say 2 out of all these games are really difficult.
Ooh. So we took a player we like early, man. That's it.
Yeah, we're in love with Cam, and like we said, you gotta take players that you love.
And now we're rounding about middle of round 8, so we're about 100 players deep. Who just got taken? Danny Woodhead.
Good pick.
I like Danny Woodhead. He got injured last year. He's good for 50, 60 catches. We just had Martellus Bennett go. The Black Unicorn.
Black Unicorn, baby.
They lost our friend, what's his name? Brandon Marshall. But he had a very good year last year. Tons of targets, over 100 targets last year. Had one game, I think he had over 10 catches. So he's a good pick. But we don't like taking tight ends now.
Yeah, we don't like tight ends. What kind of position are you looking at?
For our next pick?
Yeah.
Basically filling out our bench.
So you want to build on running backs and wide receivers?
It's either BPA, running back, or receiver. I mean, we could take a QB if someone's there we'd like. I don't know if it's a high priority, but...
I'm trying to think what quarterbacks I like. I like Tannehill a lot.
I like Tannehill. We just like quarterbacks who run the ball, plain and simple.
Yeah, that's really
We
true.
don't like guys who are just pocket passers. They're limited potential. Because, for example, they have a bad game. They throw for like 200 yards and a pick, maybe 1 TD. What's that? How many points is that?
It's like nothing. Yeah, and they go so
that's
early.
Under 10. And if you get a running quarterback, they have a bad rushing game, you still get 4 points from that. So I think that's why I like the running quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, so who just went? Alfred Blue?
Alfred Blue? Oh, so he's picking up the slack for Foster.
Alfred Blue blows. That's all you got to know.
And he went in the 6th round of the draft. I don't know much about him. I knew he was a
I
high
heard
pick
he's
of last year.
Very bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, I heard out of camp he
And
looks
I wouldn't
very
want
bad.
anyone on the Texans offense anyway, so.
Besides J.J. Watt. Can we draft J.J. Watt?
I wish you could draft him. He had 5 TDs last year.
That's insane. I want him as our tight end.
He wouldn't be a bad tight end. Actually, he was a former tight end.
Yeah.
Former tight end J.J. Watt.
They line him up at tight end, too.
Yeah. That's so disrespectful though to the guys who play like their whole career.
They play their whole career.
They play their whole career, and they try to get on the field for a goal line for that goal line red zone look.
It's
And
like, nope.
no, I'm gonna give JJ Watt, the $100 million man, a look. And I played so hard, and I can't even get a look. And I'm making minimum wage in the NFL. I can't even get a look, man. That's so disrespectful, man.
I hate
That's
JJ
no
Watt.
confidence. What does like the tight end coach say to you, like to his guys, like in the game, like you know what, JJ's not even looking in our meetings, but he's gonna get a look.
I don't even like JJ Watt. Stop being such a tryhard if you're listening to this. Like,
Actually,
we all know you're
yeah.
a good guy. Just stop like trying to force it on us and make us be like, oh, JJ Watt, he's so nice. He's so perfect. He's a perfect human being.
Yeah, one tidbit. When he was drafted, I believe on ESPN, he stayed back at home so he can get a workout in.
Bro.
He didn't even attend the draft so he can work out.
Like, we all know you're good. You're a great player. You're a pretty decent person. Like, you do a ton of charity stuff, but you don't need to throw it in our face all the time.
And actually, Texans are on Hard Knocks this year.
Yeah.
I love that show.
I do. I love that show.
I would watch any team on Hard Knocks.
I wanted the Steelers to do Hard Knocks so bad, but they won't.
But you realize
man.
good teams don't do Hard Knocks.
No, they
teams
don't
do Hard Knocks. It's only bad teams.
Yeah, to be qualified for the show,
You have to be bad.
You have to miss the playoffs 2 seasons in a row and be under 500 or something. Maybe that's wrong.
I think the Jets were recent. The Cowboys?
Bengals, they had. Ravens started it, right?
Yeah, that was like 01, 02.
Yeah, with
That's
the
when
goose.
The show wasn't even like big. Now it's like this huge presentation.
Wow, Bishop Sankey, your team's gonna be good.
Bishop Sankey last year.
Yeah.
He screwed me over on one team. I drafted him early. I thought he was a lock for 1,000 yards. But he didn't even get that many carries. There was a train wreck in that backfield. I know they got Mariota, but I still wouldn't touch Sankey. Why? Because he's on a bad offense.
Why don't you tell the viewers what we did last year about this time in the draft that really kind of screwed us over?
Oh, God. This is where we, I believe, selected a defense last year.
Yes.
This was in round 9-ish, round 9 or 10. We thought, well, we fill out our starting receivers, we filled out our running backs, our quarterbacks, we filled out our tight end. Now let's take a defense. Let's get a top 5 defense.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a great idea to get like an elite defense. Like, oh, well, we could get an elite defense will be a starter on our team versus a bench player. That is the wrong idea.
Very true.
Really cost us when we had a couple injuries and we could have had some depth on our bench. So basically, if you're doing fantasy football, you should not draft a defense till very, very late.
Yes. I would say 1 or 2 rounds before you end, as well as your kicker, and also you could stream a defense every week.
Yes, that we love streaming defenses.
That's honestly the way to go. You can pick them up for $1 or $2, or if you do waiver wire.
Like we grabbed the Rams last year in the playoffs, and they started killing it.
You just find a defense that's hot, has a few good matchups. I mean, basically, you want guys who's playing the Raiders, guys who's playing like
Jacksonville,
and the Raiders are the top 2. So
yeah, that's pretty much what we did. We just took a defense that was playing Jacksonville every week.
Yep. So please, if you want to win, wait to the last 2 or 3 rounds to take your kicker and defense. Don't even think about it beforehand.
And even with tight end, you want to wait pretty late.
Yeah, because the strategy we have is they're all pretty equal besides the top 2. So we still got a lot of good tight ends on the board.
Oh, let's see. Brandon Lafell went. That's decent. I liked what he did last year.
Pick. He's
that's
the
a
number
good
1
pick.
receiver with Brady, and then I think Brady just went too.
No way, did he?
Yep.
Wow.
That's weird.
He's kind of not that good fantasy wise.
He's a really good NFL quarterback, but
obviously, yeah.
Fantasy, I wouldn't want him.
Yeah, I'd much rather have Cam Killer.
Yep.
Phillip Rivers.
He's a very solid quarterback. I think he had 30 TDs last year. He's one of the only few QBs that have 30 TDs. So.
I actually really like Phillip Rivers. I don't know why he gets so much hate.
Yeah, people hate him. I think you know why?
I think he's a man.
He's compared to Ben and Eli.
Oh, yeah, that's really tough.
Like, literally, that was like the GOAT draft, 04 quarterback draft. You had Phillip, you had Eli and Ben, like top 15 picks. I mean, how crazy is that? There's 4 Super Bowl between Ben and Eli.
Wow, that is pretty crazy.
So,
Phillip Rivers definitely deserves a Super Bowl. I think he's good.
Are the Steelers undefeated in the Super Bowl with Ben?
No, they lost to the Packers.
So they're 2-1?
Yeah.
Wow, that's ridiculous. So in the 04 draft, those QBs have been to 5 Super Bowls and they're 4-1.
Wow.
That's unreal.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers wouldn't get as much hate if he was compared to those guys.
Yeah, I think people don't like his attitude and demeanor too.
And you know what they don't like too is his release. They hate that sidearm little bitch ass release. So.
Well, they could shut up.
Ever since he lost LT, the offense has not been the same. But you know what was a disgusting sleeper last year was Gates. Oh my god.
Yes, we sniped Gates. Oh my god.
Like I know he's suspended now, but somehow last year he came back from his early fantasy days. I think he has about 100 career TDs. He was so good last year.
It's literally because Rivers loves throwing to Gates.
Red zone all day, tight end, and who did he go to? Gates.
Yep, Gates.
So.
Matty Ice. Is that even his picture? That's definitely not his picture.
That's Matt. He's got a new hairstyle? Or?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's rocking a new hairstyle. It doesn't look like Matty Ice. Well, I guess he's got a decent offense. Basically,
right,
Julio Jones.
But they depend too much on the passing game. They don't have a running game, so he reminds me of Stafford.
I'll take Cam over Ryan any day, dude. I mean, what was it? Cam Newton has been a top 4 fantasy quarterback since he's been in the league every year besides last year.
Yes, his first 3 seasons.
And last year he's coming off that ankle injury or something.
He wasn't even healthy the whole season.
Yeah, you could tell it really affected him when he started playing.
He led him to the playoffs and they won a game.
Yeah, so I'm really hyped that we got Cam. Garcon.
So, I mean, slim pickings now.
Did anyone jump out at you?
Let's see. Ooh, Kevin White still on the board.
K. White?
K. White.
Man from West Virginia.
Dude, he's a beast. I'm just
picked
eating pizza
after
here.
Cooper. That was shocking. He should have been picked after Cooper.
I would better than Cooper.
Yeah. Cooper's just polished possession receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want the stud White. He can make big plays.
His potential to be a freak in the NFL. He what did he run? A 4
K. White and
4.36.
And the funny thing is, in this draft, Amari Cooper was drafted in the 4th round, and Derek Carr is his quarterback. So I don't know. I mean, he must be a huge Raiders fan.
Yeah.
This is the next
Cooper,
rookie receiver, Kevin White, and he's getting drafted 5 rounds later. So.
I would totally take Kevin White here.
Yeah, I like K. White.
He's big too. He's not a small, fast guy. He's
not
a big
receiver.
Yeah, he's a big, fast guy.
I mean, the Bears, they suck, but their offense, they're in a lot of garbage time points. Forte last year.
Who knows,
Marshall,
man? This could
Jeffrey,
be the next ODB right here.
K. White?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last year, rookie receivers, I think there was a good 4 or 5 of them had at least 800 yards.
Mm-hmm.
They basically balled out. So
he's got Jeffrey to kind of.
Mm-hmm.
We like that number 1, number 2 kind of thing going on.
Yep. So
all right, yeah, let's do it.
The good thing is too, we have our flex done and our receivers done, so we could sit on the bench for a while too.
Yeah, let's build.
He could roast and just fucking.
Yeah, you can serenade. Wait for him.
Let him marinate.
Marinate Kevin White.
Marinate Kevin White.
Marinate.
So I've seen him go a lot higher.
Oh, I've seen him go way higher.
Round 9. I've seen him go in the 7th.
6 sometimes.
So that's very late. He should have been drafted a while ago.
He's BPA.
People must just not like Jay Cutler.
I think he's got shin splints though.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, I don't feel like it's a big injury.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. He's awesome.
It's useless to me. So
he's BPA.
Mm-hmm.
Kendall Wright.
Yeah,
I like him much. I mean, I've said it so many times. Kendall Wright, Mariota. Kendall Wright's very limited. Kevin White. Look at Alshon Jeffrey last year at the number 2. So, yeah.
Who's this now? Stevie Johnson.
He's on the Chargers this year. He was actually pretty good last year, Stevie Johnson.
Oh, speaking of the Chargers, Eddie Royal now on the Bears.
He was very good too. That's the number 3 right now with Jay Cutler.
Probably be the number 2.
Why do you say that?
Well, Kevin White's gonna. I think he's gonna miss the entire preseason.
Why?
With shin splints.
Why'd we draft him then?
Because he's nasty. He's got huge potential.
Okay, I do like that.
Obviously, once he's healthy, he's gonna be the number 2. But right now, Eddie Royal's number 2.
Should we draft a tight end here?
No.
Colby Fleener on the board.
Vernon Davis was an absolute bust last year. Came from 14 TDs to 2 last year. So
we still got a few nasty tight ends way deep in the draft.
Yeah, Jimmy Hill.
Yep, love Jimmy Hill. Oh my god.
Malcolm Floyd.
Wow. Nice. Oh my god, I know who's here. I know who I want.
Who's here?
Oh, another rookie.
You love rookies, huh?
Oh my god, I love rookies.
Where is he on the board?
I don't know. Just check and make sure no running backs are here that I want.
There's Charles Sims, David Cobb, David Johnson. That's about it.
Niall Davis.
Love Breshard Perriman.
Perriman, where do you go to school?
UCF or USF, something like that.
He ran a
Some
4.26, blazing fast.
blazing fast.
And they also lost Torrey Smith, so he has a very high potential to do decent.
They have no receivers
They,
besides Steve Smith.
yeah, and it actually, I think Steve Smith is his last year, so he should do pretty good. He's going to retire. He wants to end on a good note.
Perriman's going to be sweet.
Yeah, I like that. He can chill on our bench, too, and marinate.
Mm-hmm.
The two rooks could marinate on our bench.
Now we got a really deep team.
Yep, that's to take a look at our roster. We got Killa, along with Stewart, Jordy Nelson, Alfred Morris, Demarius Thomas. We have Bryant and Matthews starting at both flex positions. Blount, White, and Perriman on the bench.
This team's dirty. Oh, my God.
So we made out very well with our strategy so far. We're taking BPA. Now we're just like trying to get players on our bench that have potential to do well. We don't want players with limited upside. We're taking players either boom or bust, man.
High upside bench players.
You realize you're drafting 20 players. You might keep between 6 and 9 players on your roster, and then everyone else you're going to add drop the entire season. So
Trying to find those next Odell Beckhams and those C.J. Andersons.
right, C.J. Anderson wasn't even good till like week 9 last year as a pickup. Odell Beckham was drafted.
If you think about it, we all knew that whatever running back was in that Denver Broncos system was going to do nasty.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, like, you got to look for kind of players that their situation is going to lead to, like, a big boom.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
someone like Perriman, Kevin White.
That's why we draft the ceiling, baby.
Yep.
All ceiling.
And, wow, Colston went.
So
Bro,
Colston was
yeah.
good maybe like 6 years ago.
Yeah, this isn't
So
1990.
I would never take Colston. Actually, 7th round pick out of Hofstra. I think he was a tight end in college.
Yeah, he's stupid. Well, there's one trend that I've noticed about this draft is that stupid players are ending up on stupid people's teams.
So, would you create something as like a do not draft like player list?
Yeah, I usually go through and cross off players that I absolutely want nothing to do with.
Yeah, I agree with that. What's the most important thing you look for in a receiver?
Most important thing I look for in a receiver is targets.
Targets.
Targets, all about targets.
And what's more important, number of targets, number of red zone targets?
Both are very, very important, but I will obviously give someone the advantage if they have better red zone target stats.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even care if they catch it. I'm usually
Agree.
more concerned about how many looks they get in the red zone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, red zone looks are huge. You can't undervalue the red zone looks.
Yeah, that's pretty much like how we destroyed the league last year was using red zone stats and red zone targets. Who just went? Oh, there he is, Steve Smitty.
I like Steve Smith. He balled out last year.
Yeah, I actually snagged him on a couple teams last year. Terrence Williams. Do not draft
Please do not draft.
Terrence Williams.
He had 39 catches and 8 TDs. Very unlikely to happen again.
I like Cole Beasley way better.
Cole Beasley signed a decent contract, 4 years, $16 million. But I mean, he's a slot receiver, so not much. Not much in fantasy.
Is that David Johnson or Duke Johnson? It's got to be David.
David Johnson out of Arizona.
Decent pick.
I like it. If Ellington goes down again, he's going to be a nice back.
Yeah. I like that. I'll give that guy a little credit.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Let's see.
So we're rounding out the end of the 10th round here.
Huh. Wow, Stafford's there. Everybody must know that he sucks.
Yeah, he's very inconsistent. So
Charles Sims.
Charles Sims? Is he gonna be the starter or is it Doug Martin?
I think Doug Martin's taking the job pretty clearly right now. Yeah. I mean,
Dougie Fresh.
yeah, I guess people are trying to do the same thing. Get those players that might boom.
I know, but he plays for Tampa Bay. So if they're losing, they can't run the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Jameis just going to throw bombs to his receivers anyway.
check down and touchdown. That's the motto of James.
Yeah, check down a touchdown.
And crab legs. But
Speaking of crab legs, Michael Crabtree just went.
Crabtree on Oakland.
Wow. Bro, thank you for taking Crabtree. Like, it's a stupid pick.
I can't handle these picks, but
It's awesome. Just
I mean,
giving
it's
us a
good
nasty
someone
team.
else takes them. So
Like, I'd much rather have Tannehill than
yeah,
Crabtree right here. Tannehill's such a better fantasy player.
yeah. Tannehill is very high upside. He's a former receiver, but he's a good quarterback. He's become more than a game manager.
Yeah, he has. He's taken that step.
They have Jarvis Landry, who's becoming a pretty good receiver. Lamar Miller,
Devontae Parker.
Yeah.
Man is
and
big.
they also got Kenny Stills.
Oh.
Kenny Stills.
Baby. And Jordan Cameron.
So they have a pretty nice offense now.
I love Tannehill.
So that's not a bad team.
Love you, Tannehill. You're the man.
So.
Oh my God, this guy's taking forever to pick. Hurry up. Brew Crew.
And he
Oh,
took
wow.
him.
That's kind of funny.